Hey, so where I left off was I had gone through the initial 4 weeks of training at the barracks, and I was selected for the drill team. And I keep remembering little things here. I don't want to leave things out, but I also don't want to go on forever and ever. Little things that I just trying to, as a technical aspect. Just because I got selected for the drill team did not make me a member. Okay, like I said, the there's people always every it's a 2 year duty station, so most guys after their 2 years they get sent down to Camp Lejeune or Camp Pendleton or 29 Palms, somewhere like that, because you're still a grunt. Okay, you're still infantry, so you go to an infantry unit. And but some guys who were exceptional on the drill team, some members, they get selected for a third year, and there's usually your squad leaders and your rifle inspectors and the platoon guide. And keep in mind, I was a member in 1990 and 91. We didn't have they have a drill master now, which I don't even know what that means. I've asked some recent members, and no one could really say. It's just he's a drill master. Okay. Um, Here's a structure. Okay, you have a platoon commander. Ours was a captain. He was an Annapolis grad, one of the best Marines I've ever known in my entire life. Then we had a platoon sergeant who was a staff sergeant, and he was a former member of the drill team. And then we had the platoon guide, who at the time was a corporal. And then you had three squad leaders. Then you had your other just your regular Marines fire teams. Okay, team leaders, grunts. My first year on the drill team, fun fact, I was the most junior man. I had gone to college for a year, so I had some college transcripts, which could have got me a immediate promotion to PFC. But for some reason, I didn't turn them in, and so I was just a private the first 6 months I was in, which really just was rough. But but that was my own fault. Anyway, just to set this, just for people who want to know what our jobs were, it's confusing because the Marine Barracks up there in Washington D.C. is a live active duty infantry base. Okay, not everybody up there is grunts. You have your admin guys, you have your maintenance people, you have a security force up there. But A and B Company, we did all of the ceremonies. Okay, at Arlington for funerals, at the White House for state dinners, for arrivals, for departures of dignitaries, heads of state, queens, kings, people like that. So the drill team, we were a little bit special from the standpoint of sometimes we would travel during the week. If we got invited to do a show somewhere, we'll say Philadelphia or New York or California, whatever, we would sometimes be gone during the week. So we couldn't always be there to do these our official duties. Okay. And so that would be left to the marching platoons. They did it all. That's all they did. Okay. But there's only one platoon at 8th and I that did what we did. That's us, Silent Drill Team. We were the show, pretty much. And I mean, if you don't think I'm egotistical, that's fine. I'm not. I'm just saying this is what the deal was. Okay. Anyway, we also had a live mission, which was to, in the event of a national emergency or whatever, was to secure the White House. Like literally, if there was something bad going down, they would deploy us to the White House. We would take over the whole outside perimeter and secure it, and then get the president and take him to Camp David. Okay, that was when we had to drill for this quite a bit. Sometimes we would get recalled in the middle of the night. We had to show up in, utilities, camis, and get our M16s and all our war gear, because people think you're just a pretty boy up there, spinning rifles around, and we did. But we also had to go to the field quite a good bit. We did a lot of field training. Which is interesting, but people don't know that. Okay, they think and I heard it a lot in the fleet, especially my first year when I was at the private PFC. I got hammered by people in the fleet. I'm just some brand new Marine. I somehow got myself looked up and got on the drill team, and they didn't know it. They had no idea what we went through. We went through pure hell, and that's the point of this video. Like I said, when I first got on the fifth deck of the barracks, that's where the drill team. That was the drill team's floor. Okay, for lack of a better word. I interchange between Marine Corps terminology and civilian terminology because I've been a civilian for a long time now. So I'll say floor, deck, same thing. All right. Well, I've recently heard that the drill team got kicked off the fifth deck because they turned into shitheads, which doesn't surprise me. But anyway, back then the fifth deck was ours, and you could tell the difference between ours and the other platoons because ours is always perfectly, clean and polished. It looked beautiful. We always won like the award of the day or whatever for having our area squared away. Anyway, me and the other 4 guys who made the team or got selected, we got our stuff together, went up 2 flights of stairs, and as soon as we did, it was pure chaos. I was screamed and hollered at by everybody on that floor, and I don't even know who they were. Just people shouting, okay? And we had to take our happy little butts down to the platoon office, and there sits the officer and the staff sergeant, and they had us all stand there at attention and wanted to know all about all of our lives, everything we'd ever done our entire lives. And I got picked on because I had been in ROTC for 1 semester in college, which was no big deal. I just wanted to go on camping trips. I had no intention of being an officer, but they thought that was a big deal. So, oh, well, just a college class I took, sir. That's all it really was. And so after they got finished, harassing the shit out of us, they got us settled up in a room somewhere. And from that point on, that's when it got interesting, because that's when they welcomed us to the training for the drill team. And a couple of these guys who were second-year marchers, it's the second-year marchers up there who are the biggest dickheads, okay? Because they just got finished with their first year, so they went through pure hell. Now they're going to give pure hell to the new guys, all right? So we were terrified of these guys. They knew all the games. And what I remember distinctly was they made us get dressed in our class alphas, or wool ones. I don't know if they still do wool and poly, but back then we had both. So we put on our wool alphas, and they proceeded to make us do exercises, flutter kicks, push-ups, sit-ups, all the Marine Corps favorites, mountain climbers, the old-fashioned ones. And what made it even more fun was they had turned on the water on hot in our room and got it good and steamy in there. So that went on until we basically all passed out. There was like 4 of us in there. We all just passed out. And of course, when we finally woke up and drank some water, we were informed we had to clean this nasty pigsty up because our sweat was all over the floor. Well, no shit. We just got dug for half an hour, it seemed like. And so that was the beginning of pure hell. And what happens is this: this is in October of '89, and they cut people along the way. Okay, we had quite a bit up there. They had like 45 guys at one time, and of course they're not all going to make it because you can only march 24 men at one time. That's like the starting line of the 24. Okay, then you have about 8 or 10 what they called supernumeraries. They were just bench warmers. That's second and third string, and those are the guys that really were treated like total complete shit. They were treated like slaves. Just a quick thought here, I did not enjoy one single day that I spent on the drill team that first year. Every day was pure hell. There's a couple guys, like my squad leader, my team leader, they didn't beat me up too bad. They were actually somewhat human, but the other 2 squad leaders and the other 2 other guys, the other squad guys, they treat you like total garbage. And I mean, it's like every day I thought, am I going to get in a fight today? And I'm not the kind of guy who wants to get in a fight with somebody. I'm not a loudmouth, but I am a smart ass, and that really got me some enemies because somebody says something stupid, Todd's going to say something stupid right back to him. I've just got a smart mouth, I always have, and that's just the way it's going to be. So I caught a reputation really quick as being a smart ass. And since I was from the South, obviously I hate everybody that wasn't Southern, white, and Christian, okay? That's why I got that stigma from the very beginning, which is stupid because I don't have any prejudice against people. I do have prejudice against stupid people and people who are willfully ignorant. I do have that prejudice, but I don't care what color you are. I mean, shit, I was in the Marine Corps infantry, and we had people of every color. But because I was from the South and talked with an accent, I got labeled as some kind of, hater and Confederate neo-Nazi Klansman, okay? That's how I got labeled, but... Anyway, we had this one guy from Maryland. He hated me with a passion for no apparent reason, just because I sounded like a dumb hick. That's what he said. And plus, he also thought I was the worst possible candidate for the drill team because I couldn't do shit, was his word. I sucked. Everything I did was sucked at it. And I'm thinking, gosh, I'm doing my best here. I'm just trying. And we practiced all morning long because they had us in little groups. We had to learn various drills, various rifle manuals. And just so you'll know, the difference between the Marine Corps drill team and all the other services is the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Coast Guard. Even the Coast Guard has got a ceremonial drill team. They all do that, what I call ROTC drill. And all you gotta do is search YouTube, and you can see the difference. Okay, the Marine Corps silent drill team does not do the same kind of stupid crap that the Air Force does, or the Army, or the Navy. Okay, they all have the same similar type of thing. Okay. Is if you just look up ROTC drill, and that's what those other branches do. Ours was completely different. And the platoon guide, his job was to write the drill every year. It changes. Okay, they use the same rifle manuals, but they change formations up. They change the sequence of events. Okay, but we always had like the meat grinder is something is a move we did that was pretty badass, really, and I'll tell you about that later on. But I just wanted to make sure you understood the difference between what we did. We didn't do the ROTC crap. And I remember one thing later on, there was a movie that came out, Tom Cruise movie, A Few Good Men. Okay, it came out. That movie came out, I think, in early '92 maybe. And so at the very, very beginning, you see a bunch of Marines in dress blues doing like some fancy looking drill. And me and my wife we had just moved down to Camp Lejeune. And we're sitting in the movie theater watching this movie, and I'm seeing this, like, what the hell is this crap? That's not the drill team. Because the movie was filmed while I was on the drill team. If that was the drill team, by God, would have been there. And I know that wasn't us. And so all these Marines are in this theater down at Jacksonville. Oh, that's badass. This is the drill team. That's badass. I can't help it. I stood up and addressed the whole assembly. Hey, that's not the silent drill team. That's a bunch of posers right there. I just came from the drill team. I know. And they was like, sit down, boot, you lying piece of shit. I mean, no one cared what I had to say, even though I was furious. But I found out later on that was an ROTC unit from Texas A&M University. So again, ROTC drill, completely different from Marine Corps silent drill team drill. Okay, just go look up you can see it. It's as clear as day. So that's one reason we hate all these people, because we were better than them and we knew it. But anyway, every day was filled with at the barracks there we had a basketball gymnasium. We did a lot of our training in there, and it was just pure hell. I mean, it was just literally, it's like going through boot camp again, sort of, except for the fact you're getting screamed at by Lance Corporals, and they're making you run, and they're making you do push-ups, and they're just screaming at you and hollering at you and telling you what a worthless piece of shit you are, and you should never even been there. How'd you even get in the Marine Corps, much less up here? Somebody made a mistake. You're garbage. You're a piece of abortion. I mean, you know, if you've been in the Marine Corps and you went through boot camp at Parris Island or San Diego, you know, but this is worse because these are just regular Marines, okay? And you don't call them, if it's Lance Corporal Smith on your ass, you don't call him, hey Smitty, how about, chilling out? It's like, yes, Lance Corporal Smith, no Lance Corporal Smith. We had to call them all by their freaking rank, okay? Now we had a couple guys who were with me my first year who were Lance Corporals already. They had been meritoriously promoted. And they even had to call these guys Lance Corporal Smith and Lance Corporal Shithead, okay? It wasn't like, it didn't matter. It was just that you're a first-year Marine on the drill team. You're not calling me, we're not buddies. We're not tight like that. And another thing is, they don't take Marines from the fleet up at Marine Barracks. You don't just go to the fleet and say, hey, you know what, I'd like to be on the drill team. I think I'll try out for it. It doesn't work that way. The drill team doesn't do tryouts, except for the guys I told you earlier in the other video about who came from B Company, who were really, really good, and they gave them tryouts. Okay, so you don't sit down at the fleet and 2-8 for a couple of years and say, I think I want to transfer to 8th and 9 and be on the drill team. It doesn't work that way at all. They want you straight out of boot camp because you haven't been infected with the virus that the fleet gives you yet. You don't have that screw you attitude yet. You just have this whole yes sir, everybody's sir to you. You don't know anything. You're just a boot. All right. And so they want it that way because you still have that discipline that they really, really need up there. That's what sets the Marine Corps apart from all the other services. Trust me. I was around all the other services many, many times at Arlington or at the White House and different little things around town. And I'll go ahead and be honest here. The Army does a good job. The old guard, they're the ones who guard the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. They're the ones who run Arlington. They have the case on the big ass Belgian workhorses and all that good stuff going. They know what they're doing. But from what I've been told, I'm not sure if it's actually true, but what I've been told is those guys, that's their MOS. okay? We're all a bunch of grunts. We're all real active duty, infantry guys. But these guys who go to the old guard, that's their whole entire job. That's their MOS from the very beginning. I could be wrong, but that's what I was told, okay? There's the whole difference between the Marine Corps and the Army as far as discipline goes. They're allowed to think more on their own. Our mission, what made us successful, was being a team, okay? Being a cohesive unit. Everybody, it's like you're all breathing together. You're all thinking together. The Army likes to call us bulletproof vests. Go to combat, the Marine Corps goes in there and creates havoc and gets shot at, and then the Army comes in later on after the Marine Corps is, the tip of the spear. But we knew it and we got off on it. But the discipline between the two services is very, very different. It's not better or worse, it's just different. So the Army ran the show. They're the senior service. It's just the fact that the other branches had what I considered a lack of discipline. It's like that was their job, okay? It's our job also, but we're passionate about it, more passionate than they were, because this is just a routine for them. We wanted the whole entire Marine Corps to hold us up as gods among men, which they did. We would not do a damn thing in public to let the Marine Corps down. This is our job. So that was the biggest difference as far as that goes. But anyway, trying to wrap this up in a couple minutes here. We spent a lot of time drilling every morning, in the afternoon, drill, and you had to learn different spins of spinning the rifle. And that's where it got tough, because they'd issued you 5 stocks for your rifle, okay? Because you're gonna break a few. It's just inevitable. We had to sand them. We had to polish. We had to stain them and polish them ourselves. A lot of times we'd go over to the Air Force base across the river, Anacostia, and they had a workshop over there. And we would use their sanders, because otherwise you just had to hand sand it. This is brutal, man. So we got some sanders over there, and we would take care of our stocks and look them. And we got really obsessive about it too. Stain them. Then we get some kind of finish, some kind of lacquer. Take 3 or 4 coats of that, let it dry. I think out of the 5 stocks I had, I think I broke 3 of them. I didn't break any the second year. It was all the first year, especially in training, because you're going to drop them. You just can't help it. There's a lot of movements you have to know. But we did a lot of that. Everything we did, every day-to-day operations were just trying to integrate ourselves into the platoon, learn what we were supposed to learn, keep from losing your mind because you're being treated like a slave. Like, literally, you have no rights. You're just a piece of shit who doesn't deserve to be there, and they don't want you there. They need you, but they don't want you. They want you to know they have nothing but utter contempt for you, and it doesn't. I've like watched a lot of documentaries on special forces guys like Delta Force and SEALs and things of that nature. Okay, and we were considered to be an elite unit, but operationally we weren't. We did our job amazingly well, but you can't compare the silent drill team to the SEALs or things like that. But those guys who go through SEAL training, they want you to quit. Okay, they want you to, because they don't need guys in their unit that could compromise them in a life and death situation. Our mission was not life and death situation. It's ceremonial drill. We were a motivational sort of a recruitment tool. Okay. So not the same thing, but so I can understand why these other branches, these other special forces, they don't want you there. They want you to quit. The ones who stay, the ones who stick it out, that's the ones that say, I can trust you with my life, because I know what you just went through. After all the bullshit we put you through, you somehow made it. And I can understand that. From my aspect of the drill team, they personally didn't like me. And this is more like me. Everybody's got their own little perspective. I'm just telling you my perspective. And like I said before, I did not enjoy, especially my first year. The way we were treated was just completely horrible. It kind of messed me up for the rest of my life. I'm not the same person at all. But anyway, after sometime around February of 1990, the ones that were left, because they cut people along the way, they sent us down to Corpus Christi, Texas, our first year, because we started our West Coast tour in March. We did 2 tours a year. We did one in the West Coast in the spring, and we did East Coast in the fall. So we went down to Texas to train at this Naval Air Station. and we made a few more cuts down there. I'll do a whole entire separate video about that, because that gets really interesting. When you get away from DC, some shit can happen. So I'll cut this off. I'm over 20 minutes. I'll come up with another one later.